Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to teach you how to build a modern house. So the first thing you want to do is get your materials. I'm using a grayscale. Feel free to pause and look at that. You're going to need dark oak, white concrete, gray concrete, white glass, and sea lanterns for this first part. As well as with the dark oak doors and stairs. Feel free to use acacia if you want. First we're going to go down around about in length of variable, but I started with an 8 by 10, I believe, or 6 by 8, somewhere around there. 8 by 10 or 6 by 8 can do you good. And then I use 6 blocks high, not including my first layer, and put a divider there, and then built up another column. With that, we're going to add a couple more supports just to differentiate and break up our first window here. These are floor to ceiling windows in this modern house to better fit the vibes here, if that's what you want to call it. Then we're going to take a moment and put our little spacer, just solid walls we can detail later. So this is 6 by 6 right here. This is going to be just a pretty large house, probably medium, I guess, if you're going to actually use it. This is more for looks and functionality. I can teach you how to make a functional one later. Then we're going to go with this 8 by 6. And then moving forward, we should add another window. We're going to go out one. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, I think I went 6 by 8 on this one, but I'm not sure. Then we're going to build up our column against the 6. You can use whatever variables you want. This is just the general scale. You have plenty of freedom. Then add some columns as you wish. You can come back and detail them more later if you'd like. I just put one there for now. And then start again with the supports. And this time I'm going to go all the way around. Go 6 by 6 again. Just like that first one. I missed a few there, but I can fix it. The beauty of this. Then I'm gonna go out one again. Here. Actually, never mind. I'm rounding a corner here. And then we're gonna round this corner. Ignore my voice. I'm feeling a little sick this week. And then just keep filling that blocks in to add off the area. And we'll texture that in a minute. Okay. Then go into the ground again. I think 6 out would work, counting your pillars. Here, we'll detail that in a minute. Then we're going to put a door area in soon. You can find whichever suitable white spot you want for that. I chose white right here. And we're going to detail this wood in a second. Just build it up as tall as you want your house to be. I ended up going 8 to further some of the detailing, but just as a base layer I started out with 6. Then I'm going to start placing my dark oak stairs in this pattern to create some sort of indentions in the wood and give it a textured, manufactured feel. And then I can place my doors right there. You can leave it like that if you'd like, or you could round the corner with some more wood just to make it feel more solid. Let's see, I'll demonstrate here some of that and then go back later and change it. But it can be suitable just like that if you don't want to use as much wood in your build. That tends to be the theme these days. And then I'm going to stick with it, and what I have been doing, and go back one to cover up the rest of this with white concrete, and I'll do my detailing shortly. So just keep covering this up. And then there we go. Cover it up. And then keep filling in. Then I'm going to add a couple details here. Just go up a few blocks with the windows. I'm going to merge 2 cubes together on this part to create a better looks here. Just make sure it's not too overwhelming. Well, so just keep it minimalistic-ish. As you can see here, it's jutting out, and then I'm going to add another one just off one to the side, still wrapping around to complete the look on the other side, but leaving enough there's still an obvious shift in the axis here. And we'll fill that in with glass in a minute. Then moving on, you can see I'm thinking about something here. I'm going to switch it back to the dark oak like I said earlier. And just going to broaden out this area to give it a little bit more texture in the manufactured wood filling I was talking about. So we're going to break these pillars here. This is the second option. I like this design better personally. But it does mean you can put a smaller garden here. You don't really have as much area on the wall to climb up with vines or something if you like in your decoration. I split this two in the middle with the texturing this time just to create a different feel to this part. I wanted a little bit of differentiation between the two, especially because I have bushes running down this one later on. So as we put that on, we can later just look around, see what we're missing. I'm going to texture this part a little bit more. I could, but I feel like I'll make a second video on the interior design of this house and the type of kitchens and furniture and bedroom you could put in this for a modern house. And moving on, we're going to add this to the sides here. And just keep filling in glass. So what you're going to want to do, just to keep some differentiation, obviously floor-to-ceiling glass is a pretty popular thing with these homes. These are usually multi-million-dollar homes. You're going to have some fancy features like that. This is the tricky part, but the easy thing is just look at the block in front of you and hope you get the hitbox so you can get it in there. And then just fill this in. Then here I decided to finally differentiate things up a little bit. I'm gonna add a strip here. So it'll help just divide our walls up a little bit, make it a little bit more unique. You can match it up on one to the other side if you want. I did have it split there, just to better help make my house just a little bit more interesting and be able to look at it for longer without getting bored of it. And this is just another floor-to-ceiling window right by the door so it doesn't overwhelm the other designs. Then we'll use the little shelf space in this window, the little side ones later, so you can leave that there and just keep going like you have been, straight out with the black. You could use full block for this. I do recommend panes because it lets it look more depth into the build. Then I'm going to stop my voice here for a second and skip through this, and I'll be back with you shortly. Now that we're done with the roof here, I added a little bit of interior lighting on the inside just around the window post to give it a better feel, just to get that out of the way before I put the flooring in. Now, I forgot to include the flooring in this house. I used birch because that's a variable option. But first I did the outside a little bit, so I just decorated. You could put concrete here. I opted to put my garden by the side of the door to create some depth to my build. So I'll do that, and then I'll fill in a concrete path. I use clay blocks to simulate concrete. You can use concrete powder, stone bricks. A lot of different things can fit here. I go with usually around about 2 for most of this, to just let you have more room to walk with the jutting out of windows constantly, and it better fits so you can maneuver around the build without compromising the way it looks. And set some more gardens around the outside if you want. I can add some exterior design to the video if you'd like. Just tell me down below. If you haven't already, this little filler here could be a good time to like and subscribe. I'm trying to make more content for you guys. Practicing my editing and whatnot. So if you do, please like this video. I put a lot of time into this. I mean, it's currently 11:53 and I have church in the morning, but here we are. Anyway, my apologies if my mic sounds a little grainy. I'll look into getting a new one. I'm looking into getting a camera shortly. If you guys were interested in that, let me know and I'll try and prioritize it. I've been busy with school and working on some of this job stuff, so that's this whole thing. I'm gonna branch out an extra 2 here. I messed up my scale a little bit, but honestly, it's a concrete path. It can be just more thick towards the front, wherever you're more active in this house. And then here I'm going to add my bushes. Get you 3 here. Add some azalea leaves, and I'm going to use acacia just to add a little splash of color to this build and better the depths, as I've been mentioning, is something that's pretty hard to learn, and I've been trying for a long time. So just looking back at it, seeing what I got going for me. Now flooring in this house, as I mentioned, is up for grabs. It could be from wool to terracotta to concretes. I'm going to use birch flooring. That's what usually works for me. I could use lighter concrete powders, dark if you really wanted to. Even just undyed terracotta or patterned terracotta can help you. It's really up to your interpretation of what you really want for this house. Anyway, I'm going to replace the flooring by the door now. That's a temporary one can go. Put the real flooring in, and then I'm just going to kind of figure out what I want with this house. I think I just want most of it to be open. Modern houses tend to be. If you want a more open floor plan, I just have like, I'm going to close off a bedroom in the interior design video. So yeah, that's what the MH1 was for at the beginning. I put the floor in. I was just editing, and it wouldn't let me change the name. So moving forward with that, let's keep going. And again, around the inflowing lighting I added during the roofing, I cut out because it was a whole 6 minutes. Now, I didn't think you guys wanted to watch that. So anyway, we're moving on with this and continuing our floor. I usually would put a conversation pit in right about here because they're making a comeback in some of these newer houses, and they can just really complement your build, especially with something unique in it. So I try to scale it up with the window. This one's like 4 by 3. They don't have to be huge, just what they can be to fit your little inside you got going here. That's why it's good to have pre-measured builds. It's all up to what you want to, though. This is the whole greatness of this game, is your freedom to expression with what you're building. Here I am, I'm going to go add some birch stairs, and then later I'll add some clay to the bottom of this to finish off this conversation pit, fire pit, you name it. And I'm going to put a little coffee table centerpiece. You could put fire, but I didn't want to use that for once, so I'm just going to put a little fish aquarium coffee table thing here in a second. Let me just glass. I'm on a flat world. Sand was kind of hard to use, so I tried. And just a little aquatic fish. You can probably name tag it if you care about it staying, because sometimes it has a risk of despawning if you leave the radius for too long. Here I am finding sand. I voiced this over, by the way, just to try and not stutter and junk for y'all. So hopefully this is better quality than my last one. My apologies. I didn't know it wouldn't have sound included. I have since corrected it and got a new system for this to run. You could inset this to the floor if you'd like. I decided I didn't like that one, so I'm gonna restart. I'm gonna add mine up like a table, so you can use it like one such if you really wanted to. And just adding my fish. Struggling with the hitboxes again. You probably want to make your water not run. I think I did that, but you can never be sure. Then I'm just gonna finish up putting the floor in. Leave the bedroom floor blank. So I'll probably show a couple different patterns in my interior video. With modern houses, there's several different ways you can do that. So here I am just finishing the flooring and moving forward with that. You know, what I usually tend not to use flat worlds just for the depth, because you can't make custom ones anymore on console. Well, they removed that feature, but it was a good one. We can't use it anymore, so just think about if you're ever gonna build and you really want something. I would recommend it. Anyway, thank you for watching this. Please like and subscribe. I will see you later. Have a good night. Use Legend. Bye.